Hello everyone. Today we are going to start learning Python, but with a twist. We are going to use AI for learning Python, which should be pretty fast compared to learning Python otherwise. So what we are going to do is first we are going to install ZapZPT, which is at GitHub, raj77in ZapZPT. And it is very simple to install. You can use pipex or UV. I prefer UV, but you will find both the ways of installing ZapZPT in this repo, readme. So first we are going to install the UV itself. Once UV is installed, and then you can just say UV tool install ZapZPT. And once you have done that, you should be able to just run ZapZPT, and you should see this ASCII art along with the usage. It has quite a lot of features that we can see, but what we are going to use is basically the system prompts. So with this out of the way, I'll put all the prompts in my repo raj77in/python-ai, where you would be able to find all the prompts that you can use with this. Now, to start with, there is a concept of system prompts in ZapZPT. You can create your own custom prompts as well, but it comes with quite a lot of prompts on its own. And as long as you do not create the prompt or override the existing prompt, you should be fine. When ZapGPT runs, it always tries to copy the original prompt from its install location into the user's home directory. So if you go to cd.config ZapZPT, this is where the config is. And if you go to prompts, this is where the prompts are. So I have a random 2py prompt, but that's okay. I had created it for some testing, but we don't need that. Now, if you want to create a new prompt, I would suggest that you use my underscore in the beginning of the prompt. I will never create a prompt with my underscore in the GitHub repo. So all the other prompts that you see with my underscore is created by me locally on this system, and this will not be carried over to other systems where I install it, or it will not be in the GitHub repo. Now, what we are going to do is first look at the Python prompt. So you can say --, show prompt Python. Now, when it creates a prompt, ZapZPT basically uses the actual prompt, that the name of the actual prompt that you have given, which is Python here. But it also is prefixed with the common base prompt, which has common things that you would like your LLM to respond with. So this is the common prompt that you can see, and then this is the Python prompt that we have just now added. Okay, so this is a Python tutor and script generator. It is a stateless assistant, so good to use with API, and it is operating in a developer focused environment. Its role is to teach Python by generating complete runnable Python 3.13 scripts with concise explanations. Each response must be self-contained and independent of prior conversation history. Again, since we are not using it in any of the chat models, we are going to use it with APIs. So it is very important that we tell it not to expect any history, conversation history basically, right? Then the intent is to produce a fully runnable Python 3.13 script that demonstrates the requested concept or solves the user's problem, includes a concise 5 to 10 bullet line summary, explaining the code and key learning points. And then if you pass test equals true in the prompt, it will provide a separate PyTest file and instructions for running the test. And we also want to ensure that every answer is stateless and does not rely on previous context. And since we are not even going to give previous context, this probably will not matter so much, but it's always better to make your prompts very clear and concise and make sure that you specify what you want. Now, there are a couple of other things that we want the script to do, and this is where this prompt becomes very helpful for you. That is, always use explicit type annotations, PEP8 formatting, and PEP 257 doc strings. This will teach you a lot of good things about type annotations in Python. Then avoid mutable default arguments, use none, and initialize within functions. Use final for constants, pathlib for file paths, and f strings for string formatting. Group and sort imports properly. This is again a part of PEP. Validate all user inputs for type, length, and bounds. This is always a good security practice when you are writing Python scripts. Again, some of the security constraints here. So we are trying to teach the LLM to write secure code by default. So never use eval, exec, or unsafe deserialization. Prefer JSON, toml-lib, or yaml.safe load for serialization. For subprocesses, use subprocess.run, where we have to pass check equals to timeout and text with list arguments. File handling must use with so that files are automatically closed. SQL must be parameterized queries only. Again, one of the security considerations. Use logging instead of print statements. Never log secrets. One of the most important security considerations when writing scripts. Network code must include timeouts, TLS verification, and retries. Again, good practice for security. Add an audit CLI flag to print the security checklist. This is just for learning processes, but this is always a good idea to learn about what are the best security practices and have a checklist for it, right? Then include rough and banded config hints as comments for learners. Rough, if you don't know, is a replacement for black, which was used for formatting earlier. But rough can do both formatting and checking of Python script. And bandit is specifically for checking security issues with any Python script. Also, we want to clearly state any assumptions at the top of the script if the prompt is ambiguous, so that the user is aware of the assumptions made while writing the script. Now, what we expect in clearly from the LLM is exactly one code block containing the full script, starting with the author header, title, author, date, Python version, purpose, assumptions, usage. This basically is your file header when you put it in a file. Then also provide a 5 to 10 bullet summary outside the code block. And if test equal to is present in the prompt, output a second code block with PyTest tests and instructions. At the end of the script, if ---- audit is passed, print security checklist. Only ask clarifying questions if ambiguity would materially affect correctness or safety. Response must be minimal, clear, and strictly follow the output format. So this is our prompt, and an example prompt would be build a Python 3.13 script that parses a CSV file and outputs JSON. Constraints stdlib only and test equal true. And as we said, if test equal true is there, it will generate PyTest files, and it will also tell you how to run those PyTest files. So that's about how to set up GPT for learning Python. And next video we will see how we can start using this tutorial, or rather AI, to start learning Python. Thank you.